If I gave you $1 million today, would that automatically mean you're no longer poor? Before you answer that, hit subscribe to the Wealth Plugs channel for more deep, practical breakdowns like this. And comment your location below. I'd love to see where everyone is watching from. Now let's talk about something most people think they understand, but actually don't. When people hear the word poverty, the first thing that comes to mind is simple: no money, no food, no house, no job. And yes, money is part of it. But poverty is much deeper than just an empty wallet. Let's break this down in a simple, practical way. First, poverty is not just about income. It's about access. Open your browser and search global poverty rate, and you'll see statistics from organizations like the World Bank and the United Nations. They often define extreme poverty as living on less than a certain amount per day. That's a financial measurement. It's useful, but it doesn't tell the full story. Imagine two people earning the same small amount of money. One has access to free healthcare, public education, safe roads, clean water, and stable electricity. The other doesn't. Are they experiencing poverty the same way? Not exactly. So the first thing to understand is this: poverty includes lack of access to basic needs, education, healthcare, clean water, housing, security, and opportunities. Now let's go deeper. The second dimension of poverty is opportunity poverty. This is when someone may survive day to day, but they have no real path to move forward. No quality education, no mentorship, no access to capital, no digital skills, no connections. For example, think about someone who has internet access and can learn coding, digital marketing, or graphic design online. Compare that to someone in a community without reliable electricity or devices. The gap between them is not just money, it's opportunity. This is why two people can work equally hard and have completely different outcomes. A common mistake people make is believing poverty is always caused by laziness. That's oversimplified. While personal responsibility matters, structural barriers also matter. If you grow up in an environment with limited schools, high crime, unstable infrastructure, and zero financial literacy education, your starting line is very different. Understanding this changes how you view the issue. Now let's talk about the third dimension: psychological poverty. This one is rarely discussed. Psychological poverty is when someone has internalized limitation. They believe growth isn't possible. They believe wealth is for other people. They stop trying. They fear risk. They avoid learning new skills. Notice something important here. Someone can escape financial poverty but remain mentally poor, afraid to invest, afraid to build, and afraid to think long-term. On the other hand, someone with very little money but strong belief, discipline, and long-term thinking can slowly build their way out. This is why mindset and education matter so much. But we need balance. It's dangerous to say mindset is everything while ignoring real systemic issues. The truth is, both external conditions and internal beliefs play a role. Now let's make this practical. If you truly want to understand poverty, look at it through these four lenses: income, access, opportunity, mindset. When all four are limited, poverty becomes deeply rooted. Let's look at a real-world example. Consider communities where schools lack qualified teachers, healthcare facilities are understaffed, and businesses struggle to access loans. Even if individuals work extremely hard, progress is slow because the ecosystem is weak. Now compare that to places with strong institutions, business funding, mentorship networks, and digital access. The environment multiplies effort. This is why poverty reduction is not just about handing out money. It involves building systems, education systems, healthcare systems, digital infrastructure, and financial access. If you search online for multidimensional poverty index, you'll see how researchers measure poverty beyond income. They include education level, health indicators, and living standards. So when someone asks, "What do you understand by poverty?" a strong answer is this: poverty is a condition where individuals lack sufficient income, access to essential services, opportunities for advancement, and the tools needed to improve their quality of life. Now here's something powerful. Understanding poverty correctly changes how you approach your own life. Instead of saying, "I'm broke," You start asking better questions. Do I lack income? Do I lack access? Do I lack skills? Do I lack networks? Do I lack information? Because sometimes what feels like financial poverty is actually skill poverty or network poverty. For example, someone earning a low income but learning high-value skills online is on a completely different path from someone spending all free time consuming entertainment without building capacity. Let me show you a simple framework you can apply. Open a notebook and divide a page into 4 sections: income, access, opportunity, and mindset. Under income, write your current sources of money. Under access, list what resources you have: internet, libraries, mentors, online courses. Under opportunity, write potential growth paths: remote work, freelancing, certifications, and business ideas. Under mindset, write limiting beliefs you may have. This exercise helps you see where your real gaps are. And here's another important truth. Poverty is relative. In some societies, lacking a smartphone may feel like poverty. In others, lacking clean water is the issue. Context matters. That's why serious discussions about poverty focus on human dignity and quality of life, not just cash. Let's also address one misconception. Escaping poverty rarely happens overnight. It's usually gradual. Skill building, saving, investing, networking, improving decision-making, compounding over time. The internet has changed something significant, though. Access to information is more available than ever. Platforms like Coursera, YouTube, and free coding tutorials allow people to build knowledge with minimal cost. That doesn't eliminate poverty, but it reduces certain barriers. The key is using access intentionally. So to summarize clearly, poverty is not just being broke. It's lacking income, access, opportunity, and sometimes belief. It can be structural, psychological, or economic. And solving it requires both system-level change and personal development. Understanding this makes you more empathetic and more strategic. If this breakdown helped you see poverty differently, make sure you like this video. Subscribe to Wealth Plugs for more practical insights like this. And comment below. What does poverty mean to you in your country? Let's learn from each other.